Welcome back to another episode of Rage Baiting with Spider-Man. Now, this was actually crazy because we ended up rage baiting a Twitch streamer who was live, and we made him close his app mid-game, which I've never done that before, and it was absolutely insane that I actually got the recording of it. So we're gonna go over and showcase that. I'm gonna commentate it and all that good stuff. If you do enjoy the video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So just to show you guys here, these are the bans. It was like a super weird glitch to where one of our teammates banned group, but then it didn't detect that there was a ban, and it didn't ban anyone on our team. But regardless, the other team banned him anyway. Those are the bans that we have for this game. We ended up banning Hulk because we don't want to deal with that Namor and, you know, the whole combo. That's the only thing that really counters Spider-Man, for me at least, too hard. But after that, we ended up jumping into the match. In this case right here, I didn't know exactly who I wanted to go for or rage bait. So at this point, literally anyone is free game. I'm just going around trying to pick off some healers, maybe fight some tanks to help them clear the site, because those are the only ones left. There was a Penny. I did try to fight him, and then in the middle of me trying to kill him, I ended up killing someone completely different, and that was a Cloak and Dagger. So I ended up eliminating that guy. I didn't even realize that was a Twitch streamer, and he was live at the moment. His name was hidden, and as I eliminated him, you can see from his POV, he was just fighting me. He ended up watching the kill cam. He realized, okay, the other team has a Spider-Man. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to something else as well. Now, what was very interesting about this is he went Spider-Man when Penny is actually a perfect counter against Spider-Man, but he decided to go Spider-Man himself. So now it already seems like maybe there's someone to potentially rage bait, but at the moment in time, I didn't even know that they made that switch. So I continued on. We ended up clearing out the site. While we were securing the area, you'll see here that I'm trying to just patrol, make sure that no one tries to get onto the point before we end up securing it, just so we can at least have the payload with us. As I mentioned, I still don't have a particular target here. I'm just trying to kill anyone who I see. I saw the Mr. Fantastic. He's not usually a good target for Spider-Man. He's more of like a tanky character with a lot of HP. But I saw Black Panther fighting him, so I wanted to help. Then I thought maybe I should focus on the healers. I saw Cloak and Dagger, went for her, but, you know, I got a little low, so I decided to back up. Now, it was at this moment where I noticed that they actually had a Spider-Man fighting my Loki, and I was like, wait a minute, they have a Spider-Man. It's usually like, you know, if there's a Spider-Man on the other team, chances are you're going to need to focus them. The healers are going to request that because they're going to get dove, and it's basically a Spider-Man v Spider-Man. Whichever Spider-Man performs worse is usually going to end up rage baiting their own teammates. So in this case, that's who I have now focused, and it looks like here he is not very happy that I eliminated him. As you see here from his POV, he's thinking. He even took a hit of that vape. Also from his POV, he was playing a lot of copyrighted music, and he wasn't really speaking up until he ended up leaving the game, which I'll go ahead and showcase that later in the video. Now, you'll notice here from the clip, it doesn't seem like he's very experienced with Spider-Man, so yet again, I found him and eliminated him. His swings weren't all right. It didn't seem like he's played the character much before, and the fact is, to play a character in comp that you're not really used to or even know how to play is already tilt behavior. Like, he's already sort of throwing in a sense, right? And then also you got to remember at this point, I'm not really sure if he's mad or not, but whenever I see him, I definitely was going to try to focus him, target him, to try and tilt him as much as possible, considering that he's already switched off of tank before. And then at this point, now that he's pretty much already eliminated, I can go back, try to get the healers just to help my team out and obviously play the objective a little bit more. I tried to go for the Cloak and Dagger. She instantly ulted. Not much I can do here. I'm also one shot, try to go for the health pack, and then I was eliminated by their magic. He's coming out of the spawn. It looks like he actually went ahead and found his first pick here, so he was able to get the Captain America. He tries to swing away. It looks like he's trying to now go around and then flank the team. Once again, it doesn't seem like he's all too experienced with Spider-Man. And it looks like he ended up catching the Black Panther, and then they now began to fight over there. I heard the noise, and I rushed over there to try and get that Spider-Man eliminated. He ended up getting that health pack, and then he also went ahead and made it to the healer ult that they had up. So at this point, there's nothing for me to do other than wait. So now that the healer ult was over with, he's now looking for a pick of his own. I'm also trying to find him, so it's like basically a Spider-Man back and forth swing battle, trying to get the tag on each other, and he's really focused on me, as you can see here, and then he sort of swings, tries to reach towards me, but I ended up tagging him. I left him half HP. He tries to get away, so now he's like trying to swing towards the healers, but he's failing, and then he gets Black Panther ulted. At the same time, I'm also trying to solo ult him, but it didn't pan out because the Black Panther got to him before before I did, so I ended up pulling out my ult at the same time that he did, and we ended up clearing out the team, thankfully, so that's what worked out. There was just a magic left here, and then we pretty much just fought her, finished her off, and then that is pretty much the second point now secured. Now, at the same exact time, he's pretty much plotting. So when you go to his POV, he's ready with his ult, he's behind the healers, and then he swings in, then he tries to pull the ult out, and it completely fails. So in this case, it wasn't me rage baiting him, it was my teammates. He had no success with that elimination. He wasn't really able to kill anyone, and you saw that he pulled up the app and he was debating on closing it. So it was like at this point where he was like, man, I'm gonna give this one more chance, and if it doesn't work out, I might just, you know, get off the game. And so back to my POV, I'm over here just fighting it out, trying to eliminate the healers, trying to help push the point back as far as possible. I don't see him at all. I'm thinking maybe he's, you know, taking his time in the spawn, maybe he's switching characters or he's doing something along those lines, but then he does end up popping up. I get a tag on him, I tried to hit him with the uppercut, completely failed, and then my teammate the Bucky went ahead and finished him off. And so we continued the fight down, we were able to eliminate these Strange, and then I got eliminated. But then when you go to his POV here, you'll notice in the chat that his team is requesting that someone hops off of DPS, so they're not really happy either. But he goes in, he pushes through, and at this point, it's like he sees me, he's really focused on me. Like he wants to like beat me up super bad. So you see how hard he's trying to target me here, and just no success. And look what he does.
All right, I'm hopping back on COD.
Now, as soon as he went ahead and closed his app, his teammates went to the all chat and said, bro, Ragequit, thanks a lot, Spider-Man. And I had to pull up the scoreboard. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I noticed that he actually wasn't there anymore, and their Spider-Man ended up completely DCing from the game. So it looked like Ragebait has definitely been successful this game. Now, at this point, while I'm diving, I noticed that there is the Mr. Fantastic. He's like AFK in the middle. Looks like maybe he was typing to the team or something along those lines. So they were having a chat over there in their team chat. And then we just sort of continue on the game. Now it is a 6v5. We're trying to secure the point and try to get everything going as best as possible to pretty much try and finish up this round. Before maybe he decides to come back at this point, I'm not really too sure if he actually DC, closed his app, Ragequit. I didn't get to see this Twitch video footage until sort of later on into the game in the second half. But anyways, we went ahead and continued forward, and that was pretty much the first round now completed with one person being Ragebaited. So at this point in time, we are now in between the second half. It looks like the other team seems to have given up. Obviously, they're typing GG's. They've lost a team member now. It's very hard to win in a 5v6 situation, but at the same time, it's like the game is not over yet, so I still got to put in some work and effort to make sure and secure this win. And then alongside that, it seemed like they were like staggering themselves, so some of them pretty much quit. They gave up. They didn't really want to try too much. A couple of them were still playing. Some of them were just chilling in the spawn, so I just kept going back and forth to see what was going on. And then it hit me to where I pulled up the scoreboard and I realized that the guy had TTV in his name, and so I went ahead and I searched him up, and I realized that there was a streamer by that same name, but they were playing Warzone. So when I saw that, I was like, could that be a completely different person? Is this the guy that was just playing in this lobby? So thankfully, he did have his VOD available. I went through the VOD and I was able to see that he was actually on Marvel Rivals, and then closed his game and then loaded up Call of Duty. So I actually told his teammates that. They went ahead and searched it up for themselves, and they couldn't believe it. So it was at this point right here where I just stopped and I was right in front of them, and then I started typing, letting them know like this guy's actually live over on Warzone. And then they were like, what the hell? And then they were like, what the heck is going on? And they pretty much gave up, and for the rest of the game it was simply just us and them in the middle, just, you know, teabagging, and you see Iron Man messing around and all of that. So there really wasn't much going on. Obviously there was one guy, he tried to still secure the point, you know, he didn't give up, but went ahead, eliminated him. He realized, okay, there was no way that he could secure the point with him being alone, so went ahead, eliminated him. It was a couple of seconds left, and that was pretty much it. The game has now been fully completed. We have successfully rage baited someone, even though I really felt bad for the other team, because usually with rage baiting it doesn't mean someone will DC and close their app and like literally rage quit off the game. But it seemed like, yeah, it was a pretty successful one. And someone in the other team went to his chat and told him like, hey dude, why'd you rage quit? And he actually replied, and this is what he said.
Yeah, dude, I'm just not feeling it tonight. I'm sorry. I know I left y'all hanging. I apologize. I just haven't been playing well tonight. No, I mean, I was playing Call of Duty before this, and my wife's on Call of Duty, man, so Hopefully you understand. I'm sorry, man. Hopped off. I know I probably put y'all in a bind. I'm sorry.